What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Many men successful with women in the real world defy online stereotypes. Defy it. And yeah, y'all. I said I gotta jump into this. Cause, you got some basic stereotypes online. Either guys saying, oh, women just want thugs, bad boys, Pookie and Ray Ray. Or women just want Chad, Tyrone, and everything. Or women just want guys who are over 6 feet tall, or all that shit. And I'm like, well, dude, men who are successful with women in the real world defy those stereotypes. Now, let me jump on something real quick, because there's a couple times when I've said this before, and guys say, well, maybe it was like that back in your day. Motherfucker, I'm out here in the real world now. I ain't a little basement dweller like a lot of motherfuckers. Seriously, man. I'm out all the fucking time. I'm out all the time. I live in Harford County, Maryland. Shoot, when I was living here, it's going through Edgewood, Maryland. Look it up. Outside of Baltimore, I still got to keep my head on a swivel around this motherfucker. Shit. He's still out here in the motherfucking streets, man. I always remember that time I'm driving around in a more rural part of Harford County and shit. I was getting buzzed by some rednecks and some pickup trucks. And I remember I looked up at them. One was smiling. I started reaching in here. Let's just say they stopped buzzing. But you got to keep your head on a swivel. I'm in the real world. And that's all I talk about. I don't go by some shit. It's like you can see it. That's why I ask anytime somebody come at me a certain way, I say, what street you from? You know? Talking about some stuff like I just stopped. Hell, found out at one of these local stores I go to, I'm on the office fuck file. I don't even work there. Woman told me, oh yeah, all these women in here be talking about you. It's like, god damn. How they know me? I thought I'd be just anonymous up in this motherfucker. So I'm out here in the real motherfucking world, okay? And then if somebody say something about, the young people. I could have sworn a few weeks ago I was talking about, last month. I was talking about my 18-year-old son, dealing with all these women at a prom. So I'm like, come on. If my other son 20, it'd be 21 son. They're young. And plus, I got a bunch of young women who are acquaintances of mine in this area. Notice I said acquaintance. I'm their Uncle Rom and stuff. Oh, multiple races too. And they be telling me what's up. All in their 20s. Be telling me what's up. Be telling me what the fuck is up. So I know what's going on out here. Shit. Stop fighting it and just listen. And just start dealing with some fucking reality. So that's me. I ain't some like basement dwelling motherfucker. Shit, I'm driving around now. Where the fuck you think I'm going? But here's the thing. I know what's happening out here because I see it. I'm hearing about it. And I'm hearing about it from across the planet and stuff. Remember, I got consultation clients. And most of my clients are going to be like in the 20 to 35 age range, including some women. I know what's going on out here, so don't even come at me with that bullshit. Tell me what street you from. Where you hang out at. In fact, if you got something to say, you got to tell me where you are at, okay? But that out the way, it's just the reality out here. Let me jump on it, because there's always talk about that bad boy thing, especially that Pookie and Ray Ray thing, especially in the more black sector. Oh, they want Pookie. Well, first of all, that's an insult to men who aren't Pookie, who getting women, well-educated women. Now, before I get into it, I know people will run. You always talk about select and non-select. Yeah. But the men in the select range, shoot, they are across all social classes. All social classes. So yeah, you do got some Pookie and Ray Rays. You also got some Masters of the Universe. You know? Oh, you also got plenty of blue collar men. And all I said, the only thing, the biggest commonality, and this is just the biggest, it's not even 100% commonality, it's just good body builds. And those I say good, not great, that's some 10% body fat, super muscular and stuff. That's another unfortunate stereotype. As much as I say body game and everything, just keep yourself in the best shape. And yeah, if you got that super muscular form, which, I don't know, puts you in like 1 out of what, 20,000? I remember a personal trainer online said that. He said, yeah, 1 out of 20,000 men will have visible abs. You know, everybody else just got decent shape. In fact, if you don't want to be honest, and me and Cousin Tito had talked about it before, Roughnecks. Those be the guys really be getting something out here because you see them more often. And women are more pragmatic. But getting back to that Pookie and Ray Ray thing, yeah, there's some women who get with those type of guys. Yeah. But then there's also some guys, they extremely clean cut, educated, and all of that, who getting women. And even some of the guys who are from those rougher backgrounds, a lot of them are working. A lot of them just as productive. A lot of them got some job or something. They at least working. And yeah, you got some bums, but they ain't all the bums. But see, instead of some guy, they want to say all the women. They don't want to like look at themselves. First of all, they want to look at the women and say, oh, the women should choose better. Well, a lot of them do. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them do. Because the guys are positive, working, and everything. Hell, if they paying me for consultations, they must have money. And like I said, they are a longer range. But see, some guys want to go with that Pookie and Ray Ray thing. And I'm like, man, that's some bullshit. It's overblown. Yeah, it happens, but shit, look at the women they get. Why you worried about competing with them? Shit, they doing you a favor. They doing you a favor. And then, you know, you got some other guys, they talking, well, you gotta have that right jawline and everything. Some guys even put a racial thing on it. Like, yeah, you know, just be white. Yeah, okay. How that working for that mostly white guys who are sexless under the age of 30? Let's just be real, it's mostly white. Let's just be real with it. So how's that working for? That's some bullshit. And meanwhile, you got brothers, please, going all over the world. Come on. So kill that. Or even that chat, like, let's be real. How often does anybody see any of these guys who they call a Chad or a PSL guy just walking down the street? Seriously. In the real world, shit, a guy just gotta be really, as long as a man like keep himself up decent, he got a shot. You know, that's it. As long as he just keep himself up. And even with that height thing, you know, it's funny. Yesterday, me and my sons, because my youngest son, he likes filming like parades and stuff. He a budding cameraman. So we were at a local parade. I was ready. I ain't gonna lie. I was ready to go early. He's like, nah, it ain't over yet. It ain't over yet. I was like, okay, we good. He'll probably be uploading the videos today, but on his channel. But here's the thing, though, man. We in a crowd of people, and you know, first of all, you hear stuff about height. All right. I remember over with me and my sons, because usually when we go to the parade around here, we always get the same spot, like sitting on the steps of the Armory, Bel Air Armory, right? And there was a family there, and a young woman, and her boyfriend. Now, just going on height. Now with shoes on, my youngest son is 5'10", right? This young man who was shorter than my son was with a nice looking young lady. And I ain't gonna lie. I was like, dude, I need to get a motel room. The sexual tension between them, how they were touching in front of her parents was like, damn. Y'all need to do something. Y'all need to get some shit together. And there were plenty of it like that, because I was paying attention to couples. And ironically, okay, that guy was like I said, he was more short statured. Shoot, I was seeing plenty of guys who were taller walking around by themselves. Yet the short statured guys walking around with the women. Come on now. In fact, there was one woman there, I ain't gonna lie, she badder than a motherfucker. She badder than a motherfucker. I was like, God. Had 3 kids with this guy. Now, somebody say, well, the guy was, well, it's hard to tell. I guess he was around my height. But that dude looked like he was carrying the 4th baby. I was like, you got 3 kids with this dude. But, you know, some people will say, nah, you got to have that like 10% body fat and everything. I'm like, well, like right there. You know, shit. He was even going against, or at least part of body game. He did look like he stepped to him and shit. Looked like one of those strong men and shit. So I was like, okay. In fact, I saw another dude I'm acquainted with. He worked out at one of my gyms, but he was at a distance. I ain't feel like yelling. That dude be working out harder than most guys in the gym, but if you see him, you wouldn't think he stepped foot in there. But he be having, like, not just his girlfriend, he got a whole crew of women. He kind of like moving them around. They hanging out on every word of his. I was like, God damn, dude. Oh, man. And yes, I'm still going to promote body gay, because if you have trouble, that's the easiest way to, like, change shit, okay? It's the easiest way, the simplest game. Basic. You're going to improve something. But here's the thing, though. You got men out here in this world, plenty of men, who, if you actually go outside, if you actually get to know people, you'll see they define a lot of shit. They just straight up define some stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? There's nothing wrong with that at all. That's how it should be. Because we in the real world. Because let's be real. First of all, a lot of guys are caught up more into the fantasy. And it's because they don't interact. Let's just be real. They're introverted. They ain't going out. They ain't the type who going to go to the clubs. Seriously. If we're going to be real, most of these guys aren't going to go out to the clubs. They ain't going to have a lot of friends. You know? And indeed, they probably, even when they might have been in high school and saw who was getting the women, they probably exaggerating. Oh, yeah, they were this and that. Meanwhile, I look at them like, they just average. They ain't going to win any money. Oh, that's another thing, too. That's another thing. Guys be acting like, and I thought about this. I actually thought about this during the parade. Because part of the parade was like young ladies, shoot, a married woman, a Mrs. something, who had won like local beauty contests and stuff. And all of them were riding, all of them would be riding in the parade. They'd be riding in a Corvette. We got a Corvette club around here that's always in the parade, They be having some fly stuff. But, and so though, you know, some of the Corvettes coming down, they would have like a beauty queen, you know. And I got shout out cousin T-Tall again, because his idea of a dime, which I really agree with if you think about it, is different from the average person's. Because a lot of guys, they'll call a woman a dime, and really, she wouldn't be the type who would win a beauty contest or even qualify for a beauty contest. If to be in a beauty contest or to even compete, there's a whole lot of shit that goes into it. You gotta be consensus. Now, some people use the word objective. I always disagree with that, but this might be the closest to it. They gotta look a certain way, all of that. But I was looking at them, I was thinking, okay, well, there's some nice looking young ladies walking through here at the parade, but would they be able to compete in a beauty contest? There's a lot to that shit. I've actually dealt with a couple beauty contestants back in the day, and actually knew a runner-up. I knew a runner-up. She was in the top 5 of a Miss America contest. It was either 98 or 99, because she worked out at the gym I worked at. And thing is, how often do you see that type of woman? See, that's another thing. Guys be online seeing all the baddies and everything and think that's normal. Or even be capping and say, yeah, that's all I'm messing with. That's all I'm messing with. And I would say this. The only real standard is, well, the lowest standard is, could they get a big following on IG? That's the lowest standard. I'm going to shout out Cousin Cheetah again, because he did a webinar for my private group, talking about levels of dimes. You need to check out his channel. You need to check out his channel if you want to get a better idea, because he'll get into it, especially his Patreon. So he gets deeper into it. But here's the thing. How many of them could get a large following on IG? That's the minimum. And then you talk about like those professional cheerleader types, and then beauty contestant types. The highest level I ain't even going to discuss. That's not, anybody watching this channel, that's not their world. So you don't ask me anymore about it. But my point is, some guys be acting like, oh, these women are this or that. Nah, most of these women, the best you can get is above average. Above average, and that's only slightly. That's only slightly. So it's so many things. There's so many things there that guys aren't realistic about. Realistic, or and I talked yesterday about many guys hurting themselves in the game, hurting themselves. They hold themselves back. If you competing, if you out here thinking, well, I ain't a thug, I ain't gonna get a woman, or I don't look like Chad, I ain't gonna get a woman, or I ain't a certain height, I ain't gonna get a woman, or even on the other side, like, oh yeah, well, that's a straight lie if you're going to say you in an environment where you get all these beauty queens and shit, right? You really hurting yourself. So you got to be realistic out here. And, that's why I say go outside. And I'm not the only one who said this. You go to any place where there's a crowd. Like, so many guys are talking about online this, online that. Go outside. It goes against it. Online's a fantasy world. It's a limited world. Because you're going to see everything in the real world. And that's the important consideration. That is the important consideration. But a lot of guys let that hold them back. In fact, I ain't going to call the brother's name, but he hit me up privately. Thanked me for all the work, all the stuff he learned from me over the past year. Talking about he got him a baddie, but he said, not bad for a big fella. Now, I can't judge a man's face, but, I've seen a couple pictures of him, social media friends. Dude at least keep himself up. He keep himself up. He got that big man game. Let the barber bless him, all of that stuff. And that's what you're going to have out here in the real world. And many men have to just say, look, what's happening in the real world? And if that man who ain't a thug, who is not a thug, if that man is not, some Chad or Tyrone, yeah, he still got him at least maybe not a beauty queen, but a woman who at least keep herself fixed up, right? Keep herself fixed up in decent shape. Then you can do the same thing. It's just that simple. Because the bottom line, I say, if you having trouble with women, I'll tell this to anybody. Hell, I've applied this info to myself. I applied it to myself, which is why I have no problem sharing. If you having problems or any issues, any particular issues with women, the only thing they have in common is you. Indeed, a lot of times when I've done videos and I'll talk about stuff men need to do, guys will come on here, yeah, but women, this block. Seriously, as men, you got to take responsibility for your own shit. And I'm unapologetic. Because that's some straight up bitch shit. Weak men, weak males, women and children deflect. Women deflect. But a man, shoot, we take ownership. We take ownership of our shit. And I don't give a fuck who you are. If you say, but they do this, they do that, I don't respect that shit. Because a man's about power. Anybody figured it out who really look at my overall program, I'm telling y'all to have some power. And see, the beauty of you taking responsibility, you got total control over what happens. You can change yourself. You can change your attitude, everything. And then the women will change in response to you. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Like you get some guys out here, like the true simp. Because another thing too, if a man, you got some out here where a man, if he's good with women, some other guy gonna call him a simp. But I guarantee they wouldn't look that man in the eye and call him a simp. Because a true simp by nature is a bitch. He's a punk, a true simp. And he's putting the women on a pedestal. Even when the true simp is the man who's gonna put a woman on a pedestal even when she shows she don't like him. Now, a real man, if he meet a woman, she don't show any interest. He just like, oh, you have a nice day. He walks on. That's all it is. But you get a lot of guys, they got the women in total cooperation to their operation. And if the women get out of hand or do something, they check her right there on the spot. They let her know. That's a man. Because if a man put a woman on a pedestal like that, trust me, he's doing it out of a sense of fear. And somebody like that is not a fighter. That's why I say these motherfuckers who just call, who use the word willy-nilly, they ain't gonna get in somebody, look them in the eye and say it. They ain't gonna look them in the eye with their hands raised. Because one thing a real man realize, if he say something, his word is bond. And he gotta be, if necessary, throw hands to defend his word. But then, a lot of guys still caught up in so much online stuff instead of looking in the mirror. That's the one place they need to be looking. Like, don't get too caught up in it. Yeah, there's some stuff. And yeah, you know what? There are some thugs who get women. Like I said, there's some thugs who get women. Look at who they get. And honestly, all of them ain't doing it like that. I never forget. I almost got in a fight with some true to the game thugs. In their face and everything. Somebody else had to stop it because they were complaining they weren't getting any women. They were complaining, these true to the game thugs. Somebody else had to intervene. Because I ain't give a fuck. It was 2-1 and I still didn't give a fuck. These are true to the game thugs. Hell, a lot of them. Shoot. A lot of them, even some of the ones who getting pussy. A lot of them, they getting what they call them Baltimore dummies. Because you just got some easy girls out here. I say, damn, my book of players us. Some of these like so-called thugs and bums and all of that, if you look at who they fucking, what that mean? You look at the woman, she gonna have some issues with her. She gonna be low class herself. Shoot, the apartment building I lived in, had a woman on some Section 8 shit living across the hallway. She had straight up homeless men coming in and out. That was one of the reasons I had to leave, because the complex, they was starting to make some money. They were letting in some lower class folks. I was like, shit, I gotta get out of here. They weren't that way at first, but she had straight up homeless dudes coming in and out. So you gotta ask yourself, Pookie and Ray Ray, who they really fucking. And here's another thing too. Don't go by with celebrities, man. Those celebrities playing a role because it's getting them some money. Cause I forgot what celebrity it was. Maybe one of y'all remember. It was some celebrity trying to pretend like they were a Crip. Or some gang members, some real gang members ran up on them. They play that game. You can't go by that. You can't go by how bad they act. That shit is staged, man. That ain't the real world. It is staged because they make some money behind it. You can't go by that. So they're going for rappers and stuff. And most of those rappers some bougie ass motherfuckers, man. You get them turn off the cameras and the lights. There's some bougie ass middle class motherfuckers. Seriously. So don't even get caught up in that. Get caught up in the real world. And then the truth of the game, true bums and stuff. Like I said, if you look at who they fucking, they doing you a favor. Why would you even want to compete with some of the bum ass women they fucking with? And then you talk about that Chad and Tyrone thing. First of all, a lot of women, they question the sexuality of guys who look too good in the real world. Hell, what's that term, medium ugly? That might actually be better. If you fix up too much, they question. First thing is, does he like women? That's what happens in the real world. It ain't bad. It ain't a bad thing to have a little bit of roughness to you. Even if it's just a little bit, Especially in this day and age. Women be questioning. They looking. You got some men out here doing their eyebrows and shit. Women questioning. You know? Deal with the real world and stuff. And see, bottom line. Like I said, take your ass outside. Take your ass outside. Take your ass, be around some people, get to know some people. You know? Stop being on some nerd shit. So, anyway. That's all I got. And let me be clear on this channel. I'm just telling you the real shit. You know? Everything I'm telling you is the real shit. You know, try to get in the best shape that you can. Keep your shit clean. Be on some positive shit. You're going to get something. And then be realistic about the women. Most of y'all motherfuckers ain't getting no beauty queens. Let's just be real. Why would they? Hell, you ain't going to see them around that often. Only way you're going to see them around, you work in that industry. And then shit, I worked for a modeling company one time. A lot of those models, if they ain't fixed up, got their makeup on, you see them out in the streets or something, you wouldn't think they were models. Here's the thing, y'all. Here is the thing. Just chill. Be real. We gotta be in the real world. Just be your best. That's all you can do. And if you having real problems, you gotta look at yourself and say, okay, what's preventing it? All right? Don't be like, well, I don't look like Chad. But guys out here who don't look like Chad are getting women. I'm not a thug. There's guys out here who ain't a thug getting a woman. I'm not 6 feet tall. There's plenty of men. Shoot, that's probably the easily most refuted. There's plenty of men who are not over that height. And if you keep making an excuse about it, you got to look in the mirror and ask why you got low self-esteem behind it. All right? You know, plenty of guys who ain't no 10% body fat. You know? In fact, somebody commented. They were still having trouble. Somebody commented on one of my videos. They were talking about they were handsome, 10% body fat, still having trouble. You know? I'm telling y'all what. Body game is just the beginning. I'm telling you, get your mind right. That's it. Connect to the woman. You know, figure out what it is with you that you're not connecting. That's it. That's in you. And I can't tell you, you know that. I can't tell you exactly. You know you because you know all the little shit. So, that's all I got for today. All right? I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. All right? Peace and blessings.